Hey everybody, Ben here. Just wanted to do another pickups video. Today is Thursday, it's the evening. I'm actually done work for the week. I took off tomorrow. Over the last couple weeks, I've been doing a few pickups here and there. I think I've alluded to this in other videos. Right before the new year, I did some sort of retail therapy, if you will. Me and a buddy of mine went out, west out 70 in Maryland and went to Frederick and Hagerstown to some stores. Had some moderate success. I found a few things I'm going to show off here. What else did I do? Went up to Outlaw to see my friend Jared. In one of the previous videos you saw, I picked up a ton of Game Boy stuff, including some Zelda games, Pokemon games. I kept a little of that for myself. Some of it went on eBay, like for example, the Game Boy Color I already sold. I got like 50 something for that. A few of the games sold, etc., to sort of recoup my costs. And then I traded a lot of the Pokemon and Zelda stuff to Jared because in his store, that's the stuff he really needs. He needs my Pokemons, my Marios, my Zeldas. So I traded a ton of that to him and got some really cool stuff, Saturn stuff. Things are more obscure and honestly things that are probably harder for him to sell in the store back in trade. And I'm looking here, where else? What else do we have? Well, some other retail things. Anyway, I'm going to get into it in a second. Do me a huge favor, if you're enjoying this content, please do me a huge favor, hit the like button or the thumbs up or whatever you want to call it. It helps the video be seen. Really still trying to grow the channel. We're a little over 1,000 subscribers now. Want to get that above and beyond. A few other things, leave comments if you're interested. Make sure you're subscribed, all that stuff. And also, I'm thinking about I'm already buying on Whatnot, which is this live auction site. You can check it out, and I'll put a link to my referral thing in the description if you want to get $10 on the site. I'm actually trying to get involved selling there. And I was thinking about doing some kind of live stream where I take maybe about 30, 40, 50 items that I have, either duplicates or maybe a few pieces from the collection, and just selling it and trying to have like a fun YouTube thing. So if you're interested in something like that, just give me some feedback in the comments. I put a poll up on the channel too. Any feedback on that's welcome. It's less about making money, more about having something fun to do maybe once or twice a month. Anyway, that's it. Let's get into the pickups. So here's everything from all the pickups, and I'm going to go in order from sort of, time-wise where we started. So the first thing is these two games up top, the Tiny Toon Plucky's Big Adventure and Lemmings 2 on Super Nintendo. So buddy and I said earlier in the video, we went out to Western Maryland, went to 2nd and Charles, out in Hagerstown, Maryland. To be honest, I thought it was a big bust. We actually got a coupon for, I think it was like 15% off, $100 or something like that, and I could barely find anything I wanted. The Lemmings 2, which was like, I think marked at 29, was like one of the few things I thought I could use for my Super Nintendo collection. And honestly, we were trying to get to $100 between the two of us so we could actually use the coupon. So I think I ended up getting this Tiny Toons Plucky's Big Adventure, not even really to keep, more to trade, because it was $2, but that put us over 100, and I was like, well, we'll save a bunch of money, and I'll just find a new home for the Plucky. So that was what was there. As you've heard from my previous videos, 2nd and Charles is a huge crapshoot. Sometimes you do really well there, and sometimes it's absolute garbage. Next up was the Cartridges Galore out in out in Hagerstown also. And towards the end of the month, they had on their quote-unquote rack games on the shelf, buy two, get one free. I do like doing this stuff because you can find, filler titles, decent stuff. I usually try and find things that are sort of well priced and then do the buy two, get one. So maybe you're getting maybe 50% off. And that's kind of what we did here. So I ended up getting Silent Scope 3, which I didn't have. I think I have all the other Silent Scope 3s or Silent Scope games on PS2. Genma Onimusha, which is a sort of a different version of Onimusha on the Xbox. I didn't have this. I actually hear this is a really cool version of the game. I think this is what the remake is based off of, the one that's like on Switch and PS4 now. And then Simpsons game, which I didn't have on PS2. And this game's okay. I probably should get the 360 version. It probably runs a lot better. But whatever, it was a cool game I didn't have, so I added to the collection. Also went to the same store, Cartridges Galore in Frederick, which was a little bit nicer. We had a little more luck. For the NES collection, this was not buy two on free. It was just something I picked up for me. I really need to work on my spelling, so I picked up Mickey's Safari in Letterland. Actually, I could care less about this game. I'm not going to play it. But I have over 600 Nintendo carts, so I'm trying to get close to a complete set. $15 was a decent enough price, and we'll fill a gap in the collection. That was my logic. They also had the buy two get one free thing on the rack games, and I actually think we did a lot better in Frederick, because these are much more interesting games to me. Battle Fantasia, which I don't know a whole lot about. I just like the art on it, and it's an Axis game. And I have heard things about it in the past that I think it's like a fighting game. Definitely one I didn't have for 360. I'm still trying to fill out my 360 collection. This game, Ninja Blade, which is a FromSoft game. I don't know much about it. It's just a FromSoft thing. It had weird art. And I was like, sure, why not? Definitely something that fills another gap in my 360 collection. And then this bombastic game for PS2. I don't know. It just looks like a puzzle game. This would have been the free one. I think this is the sequel to Devil Dice on the PS1, which I do have. I wanted to pick it up. And, this was the free one. So, I think this was maybe 30-some in total for these three. And you got a game for free. Pretty good on that. Last but not least was all the trade stuff with Jared at Outlaw Games. Once again, check out his store. If you're in Elkton, Maryland, you can Google it. As I try and do is I hold certain things that I feel like Jared would want. He's my pal, and he's got a nice store, and he hooks me up, and I hook him up, and it really helps us both out. So I took a lot of those Pokemon games. I think it was 2 copies of Pokemon Red and Zelda Oracle of Ages and Seasons. And I just brought all of it into his store, and we just sort of went through it all and came up with what we thought was a fair trade. And I actually paid cash on some other things too. So I think the NES games I just bought, and then the Saturn and the PS1 games were part of a trade. We'll start with the NES games because they're nothing too special. These are just games I had loose, but I wanted complete copies of. Ice Hockey. Everybody who has an NES should get this game. It is one of the best games on NES. I mean, even a complete copy like this is only maybe $20 or $25. And this one's really clean, so I kind of wanted this. Hogan's Alley, light gun game on NES, a black box. I didn't have it complete. Star Voyager, I don't even think this is particularly good. And then Hollywood Squares, which is honestly just for the lulz for me. It's kind of a weird game on NES, because I think they do have weird 8-bit celebrities. PS1, I wanted to get Shadow Madness. This is a RPG on PS1. Just didn't have it. I mean, I have a pretty extensive PlayStation 1 collection, as you probably know if you've been watching the channel for a while. It's just one of the RPGs I did not have, and I thought it would be good to pick up. And then a bunch of Saturn games. This one, definitely wanted to get Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Apparently this runs really well on the Saturn, so definitely one to add. Same with Street Fighter Alpha, all the 2D stuff, fighting games, really good to have on Saturn as opposed to PS1. I have Alpha 2, the Japanese one, so this will go well with it. Of course, I have no room for actual Saturn games on my shelf, so I'm going to have to reorganize that again. Nights and Dreams, I'm actually kind of surprised they did not have this. I have the Nights controller, but I didn't have the game for some reason. It's a really fun game with the 3D controller, and definitely worth having. Mr. Bones, this game is very weird. It's like a strange platformer. I don't even know what to compare it to. I didn't have it. It's a Saturn game. It fills a gap. I am still trying to build my Saturn collection. And really the game I drove to his store to get, and I knew I wanted to get as part of the trade, Shinobi Legions. I think this kind of has the weird Mortal Kombat-y FMV style sprites and stuff like that. So it's supposed to be really good. It's quite expensive, but I traded in a bunch of expensive stuff. So I knew I wanted to get that. It was sort of like when I went in, my idea was, I want to get Shinobi. Let's take all this other stuff, find decent enough things to fill out the collection, maybe buy a few things. And that's what we did. I've actually been selling a whole lot recently on eBay. So now I'm looking to buy some more things for my collection, use some of those funds. Anyway, let's wrap it up. That's it for this pickups video. I actually have a lot of pickups coming in. I haven't really been doing a whole lot of local Facebook stuff. Just nothing's coming in, really. I'm not really finding stuff. But I have actually made some online Facebook orders. I actually made some eBay orders recently. And as I mentioned, I got into Whatnot. I saw some people talking about it, so I just wanted to see what the site was all about. And I actually bought some things last night. And some cool collection stuff, things I wanted to own. And I got a good deal on it. And I would actually recommend, this is not a paid endorsement, I guess, aside from any kind of referral from a link or something that you might use. But they didn't ask me to do this. I just thought it was a really cool site and a fun experience and kind of a fun engagement. So you might want to check that out. Anyway, that's it. Please like the video if you enjoyed this stuff. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you have anything you want to share. And until next time, see ya.